to Trash Talkin.
I'm Reg.
I'm E, and to be honest, it's kind of hard to come up with topics right now. There's really nothing to talk about. We're kind of in the end of the basketball season.
No, the best basketball is coming up
That's
this
true,
week
March
and
Madness,
next week.
that's what
March
we'll do.
Madness is coming up, so it's getting better.
But even like, you can't do
Oh,
like,
and by the way, Carmen Provenzano wants to be on the show.
to talk March Madness?
March Madness.
Okay, we can do that. He'll know more than I will. I know some. But right now it's spring training, can't talk about baseball. Basketball is kind of, we don't really talk about hockey. There were a lot of moves, but we won't really talk about them that much. And football, we're trying to grasp at things every day to talk about. But last night we kind of got, blessed is not the right word with it, but we got some NBA news that is the face of the league getting hurt, and one of the biggest franchises in the league is obviously in a playoff in a contending mix now. So LeBron got hurt last night. What does this mean for the Lakers' chances of contending?
I don't think it means much. It doesn't look like it's going to be much, but you know what? He needs a break. They had the Olympics. It's a long season. He's 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know what? If they didn't make that trade and it was Anthony Davis having to carry the team, I'd say they were finished. Yeah. You got Luka.
Yeah.
The rest of the team's playing good. Reeves, you got Kennett playing good.
For some reason, Gabe Vincent's playing good too.
Gabe Vincent's playing good. Finney Smith. I mean, they're the number 2 seed now. As long as they don't fall past
third
number
now.
4, they're third
after,
now. Yeah,
after a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Just because today.
So I think they're in good shape. I think he needs a break. He might be fresher when they come back. I think the only teams that are going to scare him are Denver and Oklahoma City. Golden State's going to give him a good battle. The West is tough, but Houston's young. Yeah. And I don't see Minnesota beating them. So the bottom teams in the West aren't that good. So maybe this is a blessing for him. Get a little rest. Maybe Bronny will come off the bench for Stephen A. Smith and get a basket.
That was crazy.
What's going on with Stephen A? I saw
LeBron was a baby.
LeBron
was a baby in that moment.
I was just going to say, I hope you feel that way
You
from what I
cannot have your player in
understand.
the NBA and then expect no one to criticize him.
Hey, there's a guy, a college coach, that said that Bronny James being on the Lakers is like a Make-A-Wish Foundation. You know how they get dreams come true.
See that bad?
He shouldn't be there. If his last name wasn't James and he wasn't
in the G League, he's averaging about 18 though.
He wouldn't be anywhere near an NBA team.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with him being on their team, but I'm not totally fine with LeBron thinking he's not going to get criticized. That is, if you want him in the NBA, which you wanted him in the NBA, you have to understand that he's going to. And you did not need to do that in front of everybody. He went after the game. It was like it was a LeBron trying to show off the power.
There's only one reason. Nobody else was going to draft him.
For LeBron.
Trust me, nobody else was going to draft him.
Hey, I saw a stat of the players drafted after Bronny, and they're all averaging 0, 0, 0.
Yeah,
because no one plays.
Nobody plays in the draft.
But it's because after the second round, after a certain amount of picks, you're never going to. So I'm fine with it. I don't think it changes.
The NBA draft's not what it used to be.
The NBA draft after
5
10
people,
picks.
that's it. It's
the first 5, 10 picks are always
5 years for these guys to get better, and that's sad. And
that's the difference in the NFL.
That's why they should play more years in college. That's why a lot of the one and dones, these guys shouldn't be coming out. Well, there's some that should.
The difference is I love watching the 5th round of the NFL draft. And I will not watch the 15th pick of the NBA draft. Unless my team is.
And a lot of them are for other countries nobody's ever seen anyway.
Any of these guys,
so what's the difference? But I think the Lakers will be all right. I think a little bit of rest will help them. Yeah. It's going to be a long playoff. Yeah, again, that's almost a year for him playing with the Olympics, so maybe it's a good thing. You know Luka's going to want to carry him anyway.
That's the thing.
So to me, it's no big deal. If it was 4 to 6 weeks,
I was going to say,
maybe, but a couple weeks, give him
they're saying 1 to 2. He said a couple days. He's wrong, obviously. He said day to day, so it was like 3 conflicting reports. It was like a month last night, and then LeBron after the game said day to day. And this morning, 1 to 2 weeks. So
he's hardly been hurt in his career.
That's the thing. But groin injuries in the last couple years for him.
Yeah,
that's what got him out the whole year in 2022 when it looked like they might go back to back. So you gotta hope he's okay.
He said he'd play if it was the Olympics, though. He'd be all right.
He might have. He might have played if it was the All-Star game, maybe. But you have Luka, so he's on ball dominant. That's why you got Luka, because when LeBron's not here, and I want to say 2 years, but. Maybe it's 3-4 years away he's playing. I don't know. Yeah. He does not like the thing about LeBron is he actually a couple years ago I started to think he was slowing down. I don't anymore. Like he's since turning 4 he's averaging 26, 8, and 8.
I think because that shows you how bad the league has gotten.
Oh, it's definitely soft.
The league has gotten bad. It's terrible league.
It's definitely soft. But when I watch LeBron, I don't see this massive fall off.
No, he's
still
very good, but. If I'm a 25-year-old and I'm getting outplayed by a 40-year-old in the NBA,
well, yeah, there's
problems. You got problems,
that's
right?
Issue,
that's the way I look at it. The league's so bad now that anybody can score 15 points. If you can't score 15 points a game,
At this
as a
point, I thought
starter,
he'd be averaging 15 points. So.
Yeah.
At this point, at 40, like
his shooting's got a lot better. He's way better
He's
now than he
averaging
ever was.
43% from three since
Yeah.
turning 40.
They should have did that years ago. Imagine the points he'd have.
So LeBron, without a three-point shot, has 50,000 career points now, both playoff and regular season. So I'm honestly just shocked at how good he's looked. Even me, like the biggest LeBron fan, thought at this point he wouldn't even be playing. But if he was playing, he wouldn't be good. But without LeBron, they're third in the conference right now. The NBA might be sitting on a gold mine right now. If it's Warriors, Lakers, first round, that'll be the best ratings they get for a first round in a long time.
ESPN wants either the Warriors or the Lakers in the finals.
Get
They
that.
don't want to see Oklahoma City and Minnesota again. That ruined viewership.
I would
so.
say that for the league, having
tell you
like
something.
having Minnesota and OKC in the Western Conference for the league, not for the viewership,
No, not
would
for
be
the viewership.
massive.
Yeah.
Because then you get those two new, Shea and you get two new kind of characters. I know it would get ratings to have Curry and LeBron, but
If Houston's on, people are gonna have a guide to watch.
Yeah.
They won't know who's who. They're
Yeah,
gonna
that's the
say,
thing.
"Oh, who's this?"
It's all
guy?"
young guys,
Yeah,
too.
They won't have a clue who's playing.
it's all young guys. The Western Conference is actually fun when you look at it. OKC, Denver, LA, Memphis, Houston, Golden State, the Timberwolves, and I guess the Clippers. I don't find them fun to watch, but
It's sad we're not even talking about Phoenix. That's embarrassing.
well-
That's an embarrassment what they've done over there.
the problem is they have three players who won't. There's no like.
It looks good on Durant.
Believe me, I agree. Durant, this whole career thing of him, I just want to hoop. I just want to go out there and hoop, and he's never had any leadership skills, and that's exactly what that team lacks. Kevin Durant should be in the same kind of conversation as LeBron and Curry this year, where it's like three, because he's averaging like 27, but they have no court chemistry. But I'm getting off point. But look, I think the Laker team is good. Even without LeBron, I think if LeBron wasn't on the team right now, or if he was just averaging 16, the team would be good. It's going to take Luka a little bit. His shooting from three has been horrible since getting on the team. But like you said, if this is just AD, which it has been in years past, number one, AD can't carry a team. Number two, you're always worried AD's going to get hurt. So I think they're in a lot better spot, and that is Rob Pelinka backing into the greatest trade of all time somehow. It kind of erases the concern you have about that team if LeBron gets hurt.
And off topic, it looks good on Dallas. I hate to see somebody get hurt.
Yeah,
but
no, it looked-
Kyrie Irving got hurt, and the Mavericks got absolutely
It's-
nothing for
it
next
was like
year as well.
poetry.
Nothing. Yeah.
He's going to be hurt.
Next year. Yeah.
It said 10 to 12 months.
Yeah, everything is just falling
What
off
happened
the
to him?
cliff for
He
that.
tore his ACL.
Ooh.
So it's just look what they had. Now they got nothing.
They had a future,
Yeah.
and
Now
now,
they got nothing.
like, I don't know, 2-3 years from now, I don't know what the Mavericks are going to look like. They're going to have no Kyrie.
I wouldn't be buying tickets for
No,
that next year.
people have already asked for
Even
refund
season
season tickets, so.
Ooh.
Take
And
it
you
back.
have to, like, as Nico Harrison, as the GM, looking at it from not only did you ruin it from a playing standpoint, you ruined it from a marketing standpoint. You just lost maybe the best player in the league for a 33-year-old who's already hurt. First, what was it, second game?
Who's been hurt in his career.
Yeah, like it made no sense. So you completely flipped fortunes because now the Lakers without LeBron, it's still kind of sad though. We are not sad. It's impressive that we're worried about a 40-year-old getting hurt, but.
But once he retired, if they didn't have Luka, the
They were
Lakers
done.
were.
But that was the
done.
thing.
They were done. They
That
had
was why it was
nothing.
like get rid of all your picks and
Yeah,
try
nothing.
and make this work. Now you don't need to.
Now
Now
you
you
don't
have a future.
Now you got 10 years coming in.
And again, they completely backed into that.
Yeah.
Like, they did not go out and look for it. They were approached.
Fell in their laps.
So good for the Lakers. I'm excited to actually watch. I know everyone's excited to watch Luka and LeBron play together. I'm excited to see if Luka in the next 2 weeks, because they were on 8-game winning streak. The Lakers. That's how they got to 40 and 22. Just barely lost to the Celtics without LeBron. So.
They're only going to get better as the season goes.
That's the thing. They'll start to their chemistry will get better, and their defense, which everyone was like,
actually better.
it's been really good for some reason. Because when LeBron doesn't have to be the main focus on offense, he can actually play defense. But when you got AD there, I know AD is great, but LeBron is handling the ball up the court. Now you have Luka who can do that, and as watching the game, you don't see LeBron carry the ball up
That's right.
that much. You watch Luka carry the ball up. So I think they're fine. We'll see in 1 to 2 weeks. Maybe they'll stretch that past another week to keep them.
If they keep winning, rest them.
That's the thing. If you win, there's no reason to bring him back.
Rush him back.
I would not rush him back. I know he himself is very into playing, and I've always respected that about him. But you're 40 and 22.
There's enough bad teams on their schedule that he doesn't need to play those games.
I agree. I just hope that they're, because right now that first four. Memphis is 39 wins, Lakers are 40, Nuggets are 41, and no one's catching the Thunder who have to play
Yeah.
3, and the Rockets have 39, and the Warriors have 36. They're all within 4 games of each
Yeah.
other. So you do have to keep pace. You have to hope that other teams lose. Even the Timberwolves are right there at 7 with 36. So
I think the Lakers would be happy to play Houston in the first round. If it
Any,
come to that.
anyone here, I don't see anyone below them. Grizzlies, Rockets, Warriors, Timberwolves, where I would expect the Lakers to lose.
That's right.
I mean, Nuggets, just because. But even the Nuggets have not beaten good teams this year.
No, but
Well, Jokic is great.
they know how to play the Lakers.
They're a championship team, too.
You know.
And I don't know, there's now especially nobody on the Lakers who can guard Jokic.
No, not,
Like,
not at all. There's
no,
nobody.
Like, you're going to pick.
Maybe at the foul line all game.
Yeah, you might pick Hachimura on him again. That kind of almost worked, but it didn't. Like, you can't put Jackson Hayes on him.
That's right.
You put LeBron on him, and it kind of worked, and then LeBron was
It
too
affects
old.
his- I was
That's the
just gonna
thing.
say, it affects his offense. So.
But there's no one else. Like, who on the Warriors is going to guard Luka and
They don't have
LeBron?
anymore.
Same with the Rockets. I mean, Grizzlies.
Hartenstein,
LeBron.
he was a good pickup.
Yeah,
For
the Rockets are good. They're
No,
kind of
for the
overlooked.
Thunder.
I mean, sorry, for
That
the
was-
Thunder.
That was a good pickup.
But yeah, no, I don't see anyone who can stop the Lakers below them. The Thunder, Nuggets, and Lakers to me should be kind of your Western Conference final mix.
And I think Golden State will turn it up a notch. So.
They look good. Curry's looked really good lately. Let's move on to the world of the NFL. 2 massive signings, 2 weird signings, and a weird trade. I woke up to the Myles Garrett news, and I thought he got traded because I didn't think there was any way back. What do you think about this Myles Garrett news and this Max Crosby news?
Well, Myles Garrett, for a guy who, he didn't want to play in Cleveland. I don't understand. He didn't want to play there. They're not going to win. They have no future.
I don't.
40 million a year. Oh, they're a great team.
Yeah.
I love the city. They got a future. We're going to win next year. Deshaun's going to lay off the
The massages?
massages, and we're going to have a good team. But I just don't get it. He really didn't want to play there. So, again, everything is about money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think they tried to trade him. They asked for too much. Teams weren't that stupid. I think it's gotten to a point now where when you start paying defensive linemen this kind of money, when does it end? When does it end now? So now what? 6 guys on your team are going to be 50 to 60% of your salary.
That's crazy, yeah.
And again, he's a great player.
Yeah.
He's earned money, not that kind of money.
40's wild.
I think Max Crosby making more than Justin Jefferson doesn't. Max Crosby is not going to win you games like Justin Jefferson did.
No.
When you start paying Max Crosby, the Raiders, who had 5 wins, when you start paying him $38 a year, 100 and something guaranteed, how are you going to win?
Yeah.
They got no offense. How are you going to
Yeah.
win? It just doesn't make sense to a team like that. And again, a guy like Max Crosby, teams are smart. Not Denver, they don't do it, but put a fullback in and a tight end and a chip on him. Guess what? He's not going to control.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, to me, other than playing Denver and a few other teams, you don't see him running around making plays.
No.
Good player, yes. Myles Garrett, good player, getting older.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's 28.
He's 28. You know what? He's been around. He's had injuries.
Paying him quite a bit of money.
Cleveland's not going to win with him.
How long is the contract? I didn't see. Is it 4?
It's 4, but
4, yeah. That's still-
Max Crosby's 3, but
Yeah.
still, come on. You start paying that kind of money to defensive linemen. To me, the Browns, they got no offense.
That's the thing.
If they go with Deshaun, then they just threw that money away,
Yeah.
giving Garrett that money. Unless they go get a quarterback and they say, Deshaun, just stay in the massage parlor, we don't need you. It doesn't make sense. And
Him
you?
and Justin Tucker. Yeah, no. I would have. I think we talked about this kind of. I think it would have taken 2 first-round picks to get Miles. Not.
I wouldn't give that.
If I was someone like the Commanders, I would have. But if I was the Cowboys, I wouldn't. Because the Cowboys
Cowboys
are
don't
close.
need 'em.
We're not.
Can't
and-
afford them. Well,
Well, we could now.
we
But
now
we're
we
not.
can.
We're not close enough to a championship team. I mean, maybe Miles changes that, but if I was the Commanders and I just wanted to completely revamp and make my defense just as explosive as my offense, now they got Debo too. Maybe I would have done that. The Eagles wanted to do it just to spite the Commanders. I didn't think that was smart whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't see them needing him either. They have such a
They have a
front
Yeah.
four to begin
Yeah,
with.
front
What do
four
they need him
unbelievable.
for?
But no, I couldn't fathom 40 million for Garrett. I did not think that was happening at all. I didn't think that was even. I did not think he was coming back. I thought it was over.
Well, the TV contract just paid his salary.
That's the thing. The thing went up to.
The salary cap went up
Yep.
25 million or whatever a year. So
And
players
that,
are getting
that
it.
affects everything else. Like Micah, that's the
Sure.
first thing I thought this morning. But the report is, as I'm bleeding for some reason, the report is that Micah does not care about I mean, he probably does, but the report
Neither
is
did
he doesn't
Miles.
care.
Miles didn't care
The
either.
report is that he just doesn't care about the money.
I believe it with Micah. I believe of course he wants the money. Everybody does, but
He's gonna get
I
no
think
less
he
than
really
35.
wants to win.
Well,
He
he's
wants
gonna
to
get
be
35
awesome.
now.
Yeah,
He wants to be awesome.
This morning, I mean,
I
was
give him
talking-
credit for that.
I was talking to someone, and they were like, "Hopefully, we can get Micah for cheap." I was like, "By the way, cheap is 35 million.
Yeah.
That is the cheapest you're getting him for, and that is somewhat of a bargain. Because if I was Micah, I'd say give me 42 now. I mean, I don't know if he's better than Miles Garrett, but he's 24, and he's historic numbers so far. So
Yeah, he's going to get paid, but Jerry.
At least 40.
What's going to happen now is owners now, they're going to sign guys 2 years earlier than they have to save money down the road. Because they're going to say, once somebody else goes, it just boom.
and that's
boom,
where Jerry
boom.
Jones is the worst owner in the league because
He holds off.
Way
listen,
too long.
If you
Hit it
knew,
with everybody.
we saw
Yeah.
2 years ago that Mike Parsons was going to be this. We saw it in his first year that he was special. Like he was just completely different than other people. So after year 2, Dak went
a
from
lot of
30
money.
million to 40 million the first time around,
Yeah.
and then he went from about 48 to 60.
Yeah. And
Zeke was
too.
the same thing.
Zeke too.
CD was the same thing.
Yeah.
It went from 20 to
It's an awful
25.
lot of money.
Really
he's,
quick.
he's cost
That's all
himself
he does.
millions.
So I have no doubt that Jerry gets every deal done because I've never seen Jerry lose a player. But it always ends up costing more. I would have signed Micah a year ago. I knew we had Dak to deal with, but we only had Dak to deal with because we pushed him down the line. Start signing these players before you have to because the market always looks so much better 3 years.
And that's all in favor of the players.
It is.
It's all everything going the way it is, but and again, it has to stop sooner or later.
I
The
couldn't
money
believe
has
40.
to stop. Like,
40
come
made
on.
no sense.
Like it is just unbelievable. So there again, you got a defensive lineman now making over $2 million a game. When does it? It's never going to end.
Yeah.
And the only people that are paying are me and you, or people going to the games, or people buying the NFL Sunday ticket because.
Yeah.
You know, and then when it starts going streaming, what's going to happen then with the
Oh,
NFL?
people are crying on the NHL with that
It's
too.
never going to happen. People are not going to stream football. They're not going to. Americans don't have the money. They're not going to pay for all that.
I'll tell people that all the time. There's streaming sites where you don't have to pay.
If you can do it, yes.
NBA players.
But not everybody can do that. Like if you're an older, no, but if you're an older person,
Oh, I get
if you're an older
I
person,
get
you
the
want to
older
watch football and flip back and forth, you can't. Bill Maher was just talking about how they've ruined it because he can't go back and forth real fast because
That's right.
with the streaming services it takes forever to load.
Yeah,
And
they're definitely.
Just look what happened now. ESPN. This is the last year for baseball.
Yeah.
They drop it. They can't afford it no more.
Thank God.
Really?
I know, but they spend billions of dollars
I'm kinda glad
on the
about it.
NBA,
Yeah.
which is until the Luka trade, nobody is watching the NBA.
I barely.
It is a down league, but they spend so much money. Now they can't afford baseball.
ESPN on baseball though was getting bad. Like their Sunday night baseball ESPN
Yeah.
broadcast was horrible. Watch. I will say watch your local broadcasts. Like watch Nesson, watch Sportsnet.
Oh, we always flipped an S.
Because I cannot. I turn it on mute when I got to hear the ESPN Sunday Night
Wow.
Baseball. They kill me. I don't know if they played too, and they just feel like they don't know. I'm like, you guys played baseball, and you're, anyways. But no, and if you're, I mean, if you're Jerry, now you have to spend the money. Now that you know how much it costs, at 28, it's $40 million. Like your value hasn't decreased.
Right, sure.
You gotta go spend.
Now, do you think Tom Brady's in on this Geno Smith thing? Do you
That was
think
ridiculous.
Do you think he actually wanted Geno Smith? Like,
I
I don't
don't
get a team with 5 wins who has a top pick,
Give away.
who's going to land a quarterback.
Smart thing is the third round pick wasn't theirs though, at least.
I mean, they didn't give up much for him, but
Yeah.
still, Geno Smith.
I
Yeah, but you set the
his
rookie
age.
behind him for a year or two.
I wouldn't pick a rookie this year. I'll tell you.
I would. If
Now
they
that
can
I
get
have
Cam Ward or Sanders, I'd play him and take their lumps. But now they got Geno. Now they're stuck with Geno Smith and Max Crosby. So
And Gino wants over 45 million because he turned down 40 or
Yeah,
45
he
million
turned
for the
down.
Seahawks. So I actually like the Seahawks getting a third round pick for Gino and just blowing it up. I'm fine with that.
they got no offense now.
They're gonna get a second for DK.
Who do you think is going to get Metcalf?
I would love Metcalf. I would like Metcalf now that it's only a second round pick.
I think Washington's kicking themselves. Maybe they could have had
I would
Metcalf
much
instead of
rather
Debo.
Metcalf
That's
than
what I
Debo.
mean. So maybe they're kicking themselves. I think Metcalf's in a good situation.
The
I
thing
would
about-
take him in Denver.
The thing about Metcalf is though the receiver market this year is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I do want Metcalf, but Cooper Kupp's asking price is a fifth round pick right now.
Really?
So yeah, give me Cooper Kupp.
Yes.
I'll take that for fifth round. That's
Oh.
a Jerry Jones special. A
Starts-
fifth round pick for an aging receiver.
Starts this week.
So it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Legal tampering starts
Oh, it's
this
gonna be an
morning.
interesting week.
Tomorrow morning. So it's big week. The receiver market's crowded. We thought that there would be these trade candidates in the edge rushing from Miles Garrett. Apparently not. He wants to go back and play on the horrible team, which doesn't seem to make much sense to me. I guess the money's good, so good for him, but I don't see it.
I look at the Bengals.
They're
They're tired of winning 38-35.
Yeah, and they got rid of their best.
Both two best defensive players are gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Bengals.
wow.
And you want to have two receivers at $35 million a year plus your quarterback. Well, now you have no defense.
I'd probably rather have Hendrickson.
So it's
than
not going to
Higgins.
change. Their games aren't going to change. If they don't score 40 points, they're not going to win.
And he's had 34 sacks in 2 years too.
Burrow should ask for a
To
trade,
me,
man.
that's what's going to happen. And
He has to.
I saw a podcast
Thumbs up.
where Joe Burrow and his contract's
Oh.
up out of
Dak
Cincinnati.
Dak
Guaranteed.
for Joe.
Well, you can't
He'll do
win
too
with just
much more.
offense. And now they're going to go.
They're
pay two
ruining his
receivers.
career. They're killing him.
Well, he's getting
You only need
stats,
one
but
receiver.
they're
Yeah,
not
but-
gonna win.
All you need is
You
one
only
good
need one.
receiver.
Yeah, you know, stats are great, but ask our offensive line for the Cowboys. Zach Martin, he never got to a bowl. He should have won a Super Bowl.
Cincinnati's a bad organization. They don't know when to pay people either. They're cheap. They don't know when to.
They're
pay
worse than
people.
us, actually.
Yeah, they are.
They're one of the
He's
few.
a terrible owner.
They got lucky
And
with 2 draft picks.
He's gonna
They
get
struck gold.
Yeah.
They got one of the best receivers in the league, one of the best quarterbacks, and they just struck gold.
Yeah.
Because other than that, they have never drafted that well, and they have never signed when they should. They have never. AJ Green wasted his career. You wouldn't even know.
I would have traded T. Higgins
He did.
and got defensive players for him and kept their
You need to
defense.
build your defense.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase already have that connection to where it's like if you just have those two, your offense.
Don't they need a better offensive line though? Like, doesn't he
Yeah,
run around like?
Yeah, but
Eventually,
you know,
yeah, I mean,
I think you can win with a bad offense. They made the Super Bowl. with a
Yeah,
bad
that's true.
offense line.
And they still score a lot of points.
I actually don't care about offensive line. If your offensive line is okay, I think you're fine. I don't think you need this amazing. I watched an amazing offensive line in Dallas do nothing for 6 years. So.
I mean, it's going to be interesting this week to see the money being thrown around.
That's what I'm curious.
You're going to get teams who are under the cap, and now they got more cap to spend.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're going to blow money on people, some good and some bad.
I would like to say free agency is never interesting for me. It's interesting for others. I'm so happy that everyone gets to watch your team do things. I know my team's not going to do much. I'm excited to see how it's all distributed, but I know Jerry's not going to touch anything. There's some teams, I think like you guys, who should. I don't know how much cap you have.
We
but-
need receivers.
So who should make, after making a surprising playoff push, the receivers that are there, I would give up a second for
We need
Metcalf.
offense, running back, or receiver. If there's
I would give
people
up a
out there-
second for Metcalf if I were you guys.
What? Oh, for
I
sure.
would 100% do it.
Guaranteed.
Easily. That changes your
They
team.
need somebody like that. That would change everything. Your defense is set.
Yeah.
They got to sign a couple guys on defense, but once they do that, they'll be all right.
And, that was a tough division because now the Raiders are set.
That whole division though.
I think the
Should be
Chargers,
fun.
I think the Chargers, that was their year. Their defense is older. Unless they get top-notch receivers and switch the way they play,
Yeah.
they showed they were a
It should just
sham
be
when
you
they
two
got to
now.
the playoffs.
It should just be
so,
you and the Chiefs now. It feels like.
Herbert showed what he is, so.
Oh, I'm glad everyone else is coming around on that because he's been showing me that forever. All right, let's move on to some baseball before we finish off here. Yankees got some bad news. Gerrit Cole could need Tommy John, and Stanton, they say his career could be done. They say that this elbow could be lingering. What does this mean for the Yankees? Can they defend this division?
Oh, not even close. I mean, to lose Gerrit Cole, they're finished.
Yep.
The other pitcher, Louis Gill, who's always hurt, but he's good when he's there.
Yeah.
Out for another month or two. They got Max Fried, Stroman, that Clark Schmidt. Carlos Rodon's old. I don't think he's that good. Now they lost Juan Soto,
Yeah.
Oh
who
right.
helped them out immensely. I still don't believe in a lot of the guys they have hitting, other than Judge. Stanton, you know what? You're missing 30 home runs and 200 strikeouts.
Yeah.
He had a good playoff,
Yeah,
like
he
you
did.
said, but during the regular season, it's a long year.
Yeah.
He strikes out a lot. The only reason he's half good is because he's batting after Judge.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's going to drive people in because
Yeah.
they'll walk Judge and stuff. To me, they're by far the third, maybe close with the Blue Jays. The Red Sox and the Orioles are going to fight it out. They're way better offensively and pitching.
Oh, I like hearing that.
The Yankees are going to hit,
Give me some excitement.
Bellinger, Goldschmidt, maybe if they have good years,
Oh,
their hitting will be good.
Bellinger,
Goldschmidt
yeah.
was terrible last
Bellinger,
year. If he comes back at the short field, they're going to have to out-hit teams. I think Cole, that would be at his age. If he
Yeah.
gets Tommy John, that's it. Because he's missing this year and part of
Yeah,
next
it would be
year.
part of next year too.
So I mean, that could be his career too.
Yeah.
So to me, they're done with these injuries. They're a team that's older. The young guys aren't great hitters. They're not average hitters. They hit home runs because they play in a small park. Baltimore's young. Boston's young and upcoming. To me, the American League, they're done. If these injuries last, finished.
It is. I don't like injuries at all, but it is nice to be like. It's kind of like the evil empire dying a little bit, and now we're kind of. We were just ranked the second best farm system in the league, and we were also ranked in the power rankings 5th in the league. This is like a weird sense of optimism.
Really?
It's really weird.
Wow.
The next 10 years look really good for some reason.
Good
and
for
it did
us.
a year ago. The next 10 years looked like
Yes.
it was like, oh, we have a good farm system, but we have no stars.
See, you guys never traded away your farm system
That's the
to
thing.
get a player, which is smart.
We traded Kyle Teal. He was our catcher prospect for Crochet. Crochet's 24. So you gave away a 23-year-old prospect for a great pitcher. So I love that move.
That's fine.
Our big
Have to
three.
once in a while.
Our big three, Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, and Kirsten Campbell, are all of them ranked in the top 20 of prospects in the league. It is so much fun to see all of this hype and optimism. Alex Bregman is batting 600 in spring training. I know it's just spring
Wow.
training, but it means
He's a
something.
good hitter anyway.
Clay Thompson's brother might be better than Clay Thompson. He's batting 700 with 5 home runs in spring training.
I haven't been paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
I gotta
It's
start
so
paying
much
attention.
fun. Walker, I know I get it's just spring training. Walker Buehler looks amazing.
He was a great pitcher
He
before
looks
he got hurt.
so good.
He was
Everyone
a
looks
great
so good.
pitcher.
So what does it mean for the Yankees? I don't know if the Yankees suck. I don't know if they're going to be bad. But I do know that everyone else in the division has a lot of optimism in the Yankees zone.
They're going to be at least 8 to 10 games
Yeah.
behind Baltimore and Boston.
I can
They'll be
see
a
that.
500 team, and that's if their hitting gets better than it was last year.
That's if you see Judge at his, like,
Yeah.
because we've also seen Judge, go through 2 months of batting like 150. So Judge has to be the guy. But
Chase Chisholm's got to have a
Chisholm
great
has to come back
He
well.
has to have a great year.
This is not basketball where having one great player in your lineup is going to make you good. It's a team sport. That's why you look 1 through 9 for the Red Sox, and your worst hitter, it's like, oh wow, it's like Rafaela, who looked amazing last year. Anyways, when you look at the Yankees roster, it's a lot of guys. After Bellinger, I get Goldschmidt
I
name
don't like
value.
Volpe. I don't think he's.
I don't think Volpe's good
You got
either.
Rice, who's
That's the
second
thing.
year.
Like there's a lot of like they do like we did for the Cowboys for a long time, like Miles Austin. There's a lot of like Yankee hype because you have that Yankee logo.
They strike out a lot as a team.
That's the thing.
They
like,
don't do the proper things to win.
I'm not like moved by anybody on the Yankees right now. Like Goldschmidt, like I total name value to me. I think he's way past his prime.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Bellinger and with the short porch, that's a great signing. I did like the Fried signing. I think it just added. And I thought they had a great offseason. But losing Cole absolutely just tanks all
And
that
knocks
to me.
them- and even in that division, when you play Toronto and you play Tampa Bay, they're tough games.
That's
Yeah.
oh,
that
Tampa's
whole
always
division,
tough.
that whole
Always.
division.
Tampa
Bay,
will win
no
80
matter how
games
bad
somehow
they-
again.
Yeah,
They
but no
always
matter
do.
how bad they are, they always play good against
Yeah.
those teams. So
And
there's no easy wins.
no matter how bad Tampa is, no matter how bad of a their roster is, I don't ever expect Tampa to get less than 75 wins.
No,
they always get those wins.
they
I don't
always
get
do
it.
what they
I don't
can.
get it, but they do. And the Jays, I think there's a little bit of this like overreacting in the Jays, and in a year they could be in this horrible situation because they'll lose Vladdy. But like we're looking at a lot of people had down years last year. Like Bichette had down years. Like I know a lot of people don't like him, but is there a chance Bichette
What about
looks really
Springer?
good next year? Springer is there a chance that he looks okay next year?
They got some good
Varsho,
young hitters. They got
the
some good
starting
young guys who
rotation's still
played
good.
last year. So.
Yeah, I forget his name, but
but they're always.
they
a
have that
500
Italian
team.
kid who's I forget his name, but they also
Schneider
have
wasn't
Schneider's good.
bad. He wasn't bad.
They actually don't have that bad of a team if you're going to compare them to like the Yankees. Like the starting rotation is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not amazing, but it's still good. And
I-
somehow it's worse than the Red
So I
Sox.
saw one of the preseason games. Alejandro Kirk's down to 295.
That's the thing.
And that was his weight, not his
That's another person who had a down year.
That's what I mean.
Who
So,
the year earlier was batting
Yeah.
330. So it's like, could they could be sneaky.
If they
I
all
don't
get
see how
together
not.
and have good years like they did bad
Yeah.
years, they could be decent. They're pitching older but decent.
Yeah, it's decent still. Like the Yankees pitching though, Gerrit Cole would terrify me. Again, in a biased way, I do think the Red Sox are kind of running away with that. Maybe getting the AL East title. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just too excited. But I look around the team.
I
and
think
it's-
Baltimore's
Baltimore's
going to
good
come
too.
out because of the way they lost in the playoffs.
But even their rotation,
well, they lost Gordon Burns,
Yeah.
but they have such good young hitters. And
their offense, I think
their
will be great.
offense is
I think
unbelievable.
there'll be a lot of 8 to 7 games.
And I heard they moved the fences in Baltimore.
I did see that. Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Really?
Maybe they figured they got no pitches.
They
might as well
moved
just
Memphis
hit.
in. Yeah, might as well
So,
hit it. But hey,
You're allowed to change that?
You're allowed to change the dimensions of your ballpark, but it
So
has to,
much,
it has
I
to
mean,
fit a certain.
yeah, but
Yeah.
maybe they're doing it for themselves. If I was the Padres,
Yeah,
they'd bring
you're-
it in too. They
you
can't
do.
hit home runs out there. But I think Walker Buehler was a steal for
Oh
the
my
Red
God.
Sox.
I didn't, and now I do.
Just shows you how deep the Dodgers pitching staff is.
Yeah,
when
he was-
had
Wouldn't
one
even get rid of
injury,
a guy.
they let him go.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, I hope he's because his curveball has looked lively in spring training. Crochet's looked amazing. Giolito, we're probably going to run a 6-man rotation because Giolito's looked good in spring training.
Me personally, the whole month of April would be a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, it should be.
Ease them into the season.
We have, for some reason, we did not have this last 2 years. We have a lot of starting pitching. Like, we have depth for the first time. We have no bullpen, which is kind of scary. Like, we have no closer as of right now.
Again.
We lost Jansen.
Yeah.
Kenley Jansen absolutely played himself
Where did
into
he go?
early retirement. Nobody wants him. He's still sitting on his couch.
Yeah,
Oh.
nobody's got
Good
him.
for him.
He's old.
We'll probably throw Gerrit Whitlock in the bullpen. He was an all-star as a closer when we had him. His arm cannot take starting rotation clearly. 3 years in a row he's been hurt. No, I think it's the Orioles and Red Sox, and it's nice to finally look forward to baseball because it's been a bad couple of years.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting race, and again,
I do hope the Yankees are okay. Baseball is good when the Yankees are good. I have to say that.
I don't know about okay, but
When the Red Sox and Yankees are fighting for something, it's always fun. So I hope in that sense it's good. I don't hope they're good ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm okay with them being up.
I always hope they're, but I don't know. Yankees, Red Sox, that needs to happen.
as of today, Oakland's tied for first. So
That's right.
I saw
And they
something
had
that made me,
lost.
I saw something that
They
made me
had
think of you. The top two payrolls in the free agent, the people that have spent the most money, the Yankees are number one. Guess who's number two?
Oakland?
Oakland.
Well, it's good news you're trying.
I couldn't believe it. They just signed Lawrence Butler,
Yeah.
6 years, $66 million.
But that's good. It means they're trying, you know.
Yeah, no, they're definitely trying.
But again,
They
they
need
got
to.
young players, so to me, that's
Well,
good.
I would actually
Can't all
watch
be
out for
like the
Oakland.
White Sox. I mean,
Oh, Oakland, I guess.
their win
That is-
total, the
oh
White
my
Sox
God.
is 51 and a
Yeah.
half.
Oh,
which is embarrassing.
man.
That's embarrassing.
That's overshooting it a little bit too.
Well,
I
they
can see him
won
getting
41
I can
last
see
year,
him getting
so
like 45.
That's almost embarrassing to be a fan. If anybody's got seasons tickets,
That means you win 1 out of every 4 games. That's it.
Yeah.
The Vegas is not the White Sox for me. I can see the Vegas scrapping a little bit this year, like they did last year.
Yeah.
I can see them scrapping. They won't be a wild card team or anything, but
yeah, no. But
I could see them going and getting like 65
Yeah.
and being like a tough team. The White Sox, there's nothing about that roster that should intrigue you in the slightest.
No.
They just got Kyle Thiel from us, and they just got rid of Crochet to us. That was the only bright spot of their team.
Yeah.
So, baseball. If you catch a White Sox game this year, you'll be probably one of the few. You're gonna see, like we always do in April, first month of baseball. They'll show White Sox games, and there will be about
17.
105 people there.
Yeah.
And it's always the greatest to see a home run to nobody.
Just think how long it is. It's a 6-month season. That's
Yeah.
a long season, baseball, man.
When your team is going
Especially if
nowhere.
your team's
Can you
bad.
imagine?
It's a long season.
That's why you know what? As much as the Red Sox piss me off, the last 3 years in my whole life, really, they have never been like, oh, it's May and I'm done. Like even last year. It was
Last year we thought they were going to be horrible, and we were watching
I
right
know
into August.
Even the last 3 years, like when we
Right
give
into
up,
August.
it's August.
Yeah.
That's when we fall apart. We are lucky. We are not White Sox or Athletics fans. Things have been, and we've seen 4 championships in 20 years. So.
That's right.
All right, that's all we got. Now we're coming back, March Madness, so we'll start having topics.
We're going to bring out some
Baseball's
guests.
starting,
We'll bring some guests. in.
Playoffs. Even if hockey gets really intriguing for them.
Hey, you guys never brought up Brad Marchand going
Florida.
to play with Kachuk. You're going to be
We should've.
in Bennett.
And he's signed a 2-year deal too. If anyone.
A lot of Bruin fans that watch the show are going to be upset we didn't bring it up. They're
I
crying.
only know certain things. I'm kind of done with hockey because another Sabre year. But yes, if you're following hockey, Brad Marchand signed a 2-year.
And the workhorse from Whitehorse.
He's in Ottawa now.
He's
and
in
he seems
Ottawa
pretty
too
happy
now.
about it. Good for him.
At least Ottawa's making deals.
If we're gonna do one thing on hockey, I want fans of terrible teams to stop blaming players for being happy that they're off the terrible teams.
Right.
Everyone's mad at Dylan Cousins for saying happy to be in a playoff push where I just left. It wasn't like that, obviously.
Right.
Stop being mad at players for wanting to leave after 14
Exactly.
years of not making
Yes.
a playoff.
Yes.
I'm a Sabre fan. Dylan Cousins.
That'd be like somebody getting mad at us for finally getting rid of our season tickets.
Dylan
Can't
Cousins
do it no more.
had not played good for 2 years. I do not blame him one bit for wanting to leave. He's 25 and does not sit for the playoffs.
That's
if
right.
Rasmus Dahlin said he wanted to leave tomorrow morning, I wouldn't blame him either.
Nope.
If that whole team packed it up and wanted to leave, I
The
wouldn't
whole
blame him.
idea about being in the sport
Yeah,
is to
you
make
want
the
to
playoffs.
make playoffs.
You
We
want-
haven't made it in 14 years.
That means more to people than.
The Sabre fans saying, "Oh, great, we don't want him anyways." What an asshole. We're elsewhere.
Yeah, it's just a bike.
We're not ESPN. Sabre fans, Buffalo fans in general, Sabre fans, you need to get your crap together. We suck. We've sucked for 14 years, and these players don't suck. So let's stop blaming players for wanting, like Myles Garrett, him wanting to leave. I know he stayed. Made complete sense to me. If it sucks where
100%.
you are, leave. I'm surprised Dak hasn't asked out yet.
If you're in a bad
Anyways.
situation, get out.
Hey, it's a
Anyways.
business for the owners when they want to
Yeah.
be.
That's.
The owner will get ready just as quick as you want to leave.
I saw Masai Ujiri rip out DeMar DeRozan's heart to go win. Players want to go win just as much as the owners do. Maybe not Jerry Jones, but players want to win, especially in hockey.
It's true.
That's just my little piss off. I saw some Sabre fans commenting, oh, Henry Yokiharu wanted to leave. Henry Yokiharu said, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I'm sure he has been. We've sucked his whole time here. That's all I want to say. Anyways, thank you for watching
Sorry.
Trash Talking.
I'm Reg.
I'm me, and we'll see you next week.